Hello, and thanks for your interest in learning more about state testing and how best to help your child. The purpose of this informational slideshow is to tell you about the required state testing mandates and the design of the 2014 tests for grades 3 through 5. At the end of this presentation, it is our hope that you'll have a better understanding of the iLEAP and LEAP tests that students will be taking, the requirements they must meet, how they're being prepared in the classroom, and what you can do at home to ensure your child's success on the test. Phase 1 of testing will begin Tuesday, March 18, 2014, and it will be for 4th and 8th grade students only. They will complete both the writing portion of the test and the math constructed response on this day. Phase 2 will begin Monday, April 7th through April 10th, and will be for grades 3rd through 8th. Let's begin with iLEAP. The series of annual assessments in grades 3, 5, 6, and 7 is known as the Integrated Louisiana Educational Assessment Programs, or iLEAP for short. The iLEAP is referred to as an integrated LEAP because it originally combined a criterion-based component which measured whether a student had mastered the academic standards with a norm-referenced component, the Iowa Test of Basic Skills, which provided a percentile ranking of students. The iLEAP test of 2013-14 no longer contain the Iowa portion and are criterion-based only. Now let's talk briefly about the LEAP test. Louisiana Educational Assessment Program, or LEAP, is the series of annual assessments in English language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies in 4th and 8th grades. Known as a criterion-based test, these tests are aligned to the state academic standards and determine whether a student has mastered the content of the academic standards. The state has rules regarding the LEAP scores a student must earn in order to progress to 5th and 9th grade. However, for the next 2 years, districts will have more flexibility to make decisions based on additional academic indicators as the state transitions to new assessments. In Bossier Parish, we strive for students to be at the mastery or advanced level. A student who scores at the mastery level has mastered the skills required at that grade level, while an advanced level demonstrates a superior performance beyond the mastery level. A student scoring on the mastery level will be able to go to the next grade with confidence, as well as a deep understanding of the grade level expectations. Students scoring at the basic level typically demonstrate a fundamental knowledge of the skill, while students scoring approaching basic have reached partial attainment of the skills needed for the next grade. An unsatisfactory achievement level does not demonstrate the knowledge and skills needed to advance to the next grade. Beginning in 2013-14, Louisiana statewide assessments will be aligned with and measure the Common Core state standards, which will focus on an integrated approach to reading and writing. To reflect this integration, the design of the grade 3 and 5 iLEAP has changed, as shown in tables 1 and 2. The Common Core state standards for mathematics are organized into content standards, which define what students should understand and be able to do. Related standards are categorized into clusters. Clusters then combine to form domains. The domains are listed on this slide, but a detailed copy of the clusters within each domain can be found on the Bossier Parish homepage under Curriculum. That's www.bossierschools.org. On the left side of the page, locate 3 through 5 math, and you'll see the math assessment structure. You may then scroll through each grade's document for detailed standards. The following slides will show you the structure of the 4th grade test. Students taking the 4th grade LEAP test will be required to score at the basic or above level in ELA or math in order to go to the next grade. An example of this would be if a student scored basic in ELA but approaching basic in math, or vice versa. Any student scoring at the unsatisfactory level would be encouraged to attend summer remediation. Additionally, if a student scores approaching basic in both ELA and math, they did not meet the 4th grade requirements. Students attending summer remediation will be given the LEAP test again at the end of the summer session. While the state has rules regarding the LEAP scores a student must earn to progress to 5th and 9th grade over the next 2 years, districts will again have more flexibility to make decisions based on additional academic indicators as the state transitions to new assessments. The following slides represent 4th grade sample science and social studies questions. In grades 3 through 5, students will see a variety of multiple choice questions, constructed response questions, and a science task question that incorporates multiple steps to reach the final outcome. For additional sample questions for grades 3 through 5, go to the state web address listed on this slide. In addition to following the state standards throughout the school year, teachers have been using state-provided practice tests which show what each part or session of an actual LEAP or iLEAP test is like. They're used in order to help students become familiar with the test they'll be taking in spring 2014. The English Language Arts, or ELA, and math practice tests for grades 4 and 8 have been revised to reflect the transitional assessments of 2013-14. In addition, practice tests for grades 3, 5, 6, and 7 have been developed to help teachers prepare students for the iLEAP assessments. The practice tests for ELA and math include the same number of items as the actual tests. So what can you do at home to better prepare your child? Remind them to answer in complete sentences when doing homework, cite evidence from the text when answering questions, and study math facts daily. Also, your child can practice at home with a Louisiana Pass account. Louisiana Pass is a web-based program that allows students to prepare for state testing. Ask your child if they already have an account. If so, continue using the account at home. If your child does not have an account set up, you may go to www.louisianapass.org and sign up for one. Click on Sign Me Up and follow the on-screen directions. The initial sign-up password is TIGER. This will allow you to create an account. Attendance is critical. Please make sure your child is at school on time during testing days. We ask that you schedule appointments on an alternate week. And remember, during testing, no checkouts will be allowed. Other tips include making sure your child eats a good breakfast. Strive for protein and fruit rather than sugary foods. Sleep is critical. An earlier bedtime is conducive to sharper thinking. Also, school visitors are at a minimum on testing days to ensure a quiet environment, so please schedule lunch visits for an alternate week. Test security is strictly enforced. That means no cell phones, iPads, iPods, or similar electronic devices with imaging or text messaging capabilities are allowed in the testing environment. The state will void testing results if one of these devices is found when test booklets and answer documents are present. Remember, less stress is best. By following these helpful hints and encouraging your child, he or she will be well on their way to achieving academic success.